So we have been literally bombarded with questions about the current visa processing times for Australia. And to be honest, we are not migration agents, so we don't advise on visas. But we did some research behind what are the reasons why there is a delay in processing your visas. So in this video, we will talk about what are the reasons behind student visas delays and some tips at the end of the video as well with how to improve your chances of not getting stuck with this visa processing issue. So without further wasting any time, let's go straight to the topic. Now, it is widely known that the visa processing times for Australian visas has been blown out. And news like this where some student visa holders are waiting for more than 18 months to get their student visas. And obviously for those students, it's quite frustrating. So in this video, first thing we are going to discuss about is the global processing times for student visas. So we'll look at the three main categories: ALICO sector, vocational education, and higher education. Now, as per the website, the ALICO's visas, up to 25% of the visas are processed within 20 days. 50% of the visas get processed in 29 days. 75% of the visas get processed in 44 days, and 90% of the visas get processed in 78 days. So that is the time frame for English students, especially those studying ALICO's courses. But if you're applying for student visa for vocational education or higher education program, the story here is a little bit different. Now, for the vocational education, 25% of the visas get processed in 33 days. 50% of the visa application get processed in 54 days. 75% of the visa application gets processed in 7 months, and 90% of the visa applications get processed in 12 months. Wow, that is a lot of time to get your student visa. And now if you look at the higher education programs, 25% of the visa get processed in 16 days, 50% of the visas get processed in 29 days, 75% of the visas get processed in 57 days, and 90% of the visas get processed in 7 months as well. Now obviously higher education program student visas get processed a little bit faster than the vocational education and training programs. So students who are applying for visas for certificates and diplomas, they're taking much longer time than what it is for the degree programs. But let's be honest, these time frames specifically for vocational education and higher education programs are really long. And that is the reason why many students are getting anxious about the grant of their student visas. So what are the reasons why there is a delay in this visa processing? Now, as you know, for international students, the borders reopened from 15th of December 2021. And obviously, with that news coming out, many international students from around the world has applied for their student visas for Australia. So basically, one of the main reasons has been the large number of applications that Department of Home Affairs have received after the opening of international borders. Australia was closed for a couple of years due to COVID pandemic, but after the announcement of its border reopening, many people showed interest to come to Australia. And mind you, the Department of Home Affairs is not only dealing with student visas. There are hundreds of different types of other visas that they are working with as well, including visitor visas, refugee visas, skilled visas, family visas, and many other types of visas. So you can imagine a situation of sudden increase in these visa applications. And as per the statistics from the Department of Home Affairs, they have actually issued more than 1.3 million visas since the borders reopening. Apart from these large application numbers, the Department of Home Affairs also found out that some student visa holders were coming on student visas with fake documents as well. So that is another reason why it is taking a longer time, because Department of Home Affairs want to make sure that the student visa holders and the people who are coming on these visas are genuine and they're not coming and using fake documents to come to Australia. Obviously, many people might have thought that, hey, the borders are opening, Australia is rewarding people with no visa application fee or refund of your visa application fee. So Australia desperately needs students. And in that case, some of the people who decided that we can use some fraudulent or dodgy documents to apply for student visa, unfortunately got the visas And then there were obviously reports as well that some of these people have been deported back to their home countries. So the Department of Home Affairs have to actually be extra careful in checking these documents submitted along with applications. And that is certainly helping to increase those processing times as well. Because of these extra measures that the government has to take to make sure the people arriving here are arriving on the right documentation. And it is also been known that there has been a cut to the funding to the Department of Home Affairs in the recent budget. As per the budget reports, Department of Home Affairs funding has been slashed by more than $800 million. And that has been one of the talking points, considering there has already been a long delays in the visa processing. It is certainly not going to help anyone if there is further cut to the funding that is given to the department. Obviously, the budget was announced by the previous government, so we'll see if the new government comes in and allocate some additional funding in order to get more visas processed in a quicker time. And the new government has acknowledged the fact that there has been a large delays in the visa processing, but they said they are willing to find a solution to this problem as soon as possible as well, so that more visas get processed faster. Now, as mentioned earlier, we are not migration agents, but here are some common sense tips that we think you can take away that can help you. So ideally, you should try to make the life of the visa officer as easy as possible. So how you can do that? Here are a few things you can do. Number one, make sure that you're filling all the documentation forms correctly. Any form that you're completing for your student visa submission, make sure it's complete, correct, and clear. Don't leave any empty spaces in the forms you're completing. Make sure you have checked it, double checked it, and triple checked it before you're submitting these forms. Also make sure that your documentation that you're submitting are complete, they are verified, and they're genuine as well. Sometimes attaching separate verification of the documentation can be really helpful. And in some countries, they're actually required as well. So making sure that the documentation you're providing are genuine, and if they are not in English, make sure they're translated as well. Also, don't wait too long for applying for your visa. If you want to apply as soon as you can. As soon as your documentation is ready, make sure you're submitting your application, because obviously you can see that there is a delay in the visa processing. So ideally, you should try to apply for these visas as soon as you can, as soon as you are ready to submit your application. And very importantly, after lodging your application, if something has been requested from you, make sure you act promptly. So don't delay, make sure you're submitting all the documentation that has been requested additionally, because sometimes the visa officers can request these additional documentation. So make sure to check your online email account regularly, or if you don't have one and your agent is applying for you, then you can confirm that with your agent regularly as well. But just keep in mind, the more easier you are making the life of the visa officer, it's probably going to help you in some ways. That's what we really hope. Now we will put the link of this global visa processing in the description below. This link is open for anyone to check, and you should regularly check this link. And you'll find all the other resources and the links we've used for the research in the description as well. And if you find any value in this video, please make sure to share it with your friends as well. We love making these videos, but it takes a bit of time and effort. So we really appreciate if you do share these videos. And as always, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.